Hello everybody, it's Tommy and welcome back to another video for the Disney Save. Today we are going to be touring this beautiful castle, Eric's castle from The Little Mermaid, and if you missed the previous video, that was the speed build, so I do recommend you check that out first before doing today's tour video, just so you can get a laydown of kind of all the thoughts behind building it and catch up with me a little bit if you're interested. But for today's video, we're going to be touring everything in the castle. Quite a bit of the speed build was missing certain aspects, the hallways, the bathrooms, the additional bedrooms, the kitchen, things like that that just don't really make it into those longer videos where we've got a lot of footage to show. And so we're going to be going over everything today, and I hope you guys enjoy. Alrighty, for this castle today, I wanted to give a good spin around of the exterior first and foremost. It is absolutely huge. It's mostly on one foundation. You'll see this entire piece right here, this big L that's coming out, and then the main circular room and balcony over here. This is all one piece together, and then we've got this one tower off to the side by itself, and then these two separate other ones that, well, this one is actually technically connected here, but these two back towers are not connected to the rest of the foundation, just to give it some height and some differentiation between the levels. I'll show you guys those at the end, but they're really meant to be like extra rooms and watchtowers and things like that. So for the most part, I really wanted this to remain on basically one foundation and make it super playable, considering that this was going to be coming out into the water and everything. I just wanted it to be a certain way. It had to look exactly like the one from the film, and it kind of has two entrances. So we have the one that goes off into the water here. In the film, this would totally curve around this wall here, but because of game limitations, obviously this is sort of what we have to do. And this, to me, is what I think most people recognize as like the entryway to the castle, but realistically it has to touch the actual beach, and there has to be an actual entryway to the castle. So that is this area back here. I'll just kind of zoom in a little bit. There's really no footage from the movie to show this off, so I kept it kind of simple. Realistically, this would be attached to a village of some kind, so I wanted to maybe just keep it a little bit more plain. We didn't have the space to do the village, but so even though there is two entrances, technically there's the one from the water and then the one on the back side of the castle here, I think that it makes the most sense to actually use this side of the castle as the main entrance. And again, this would be like the kind of side that's connected to the village if we had a little bit more space. So we'll go ahead and start over here. I kept it light wood tones, lots of natural wood, things that I felt like were very beachy, and I wanted everything to be a little bit lighter than how it's shown in the film. I thought very gold, whites, tans, lots of seashell references, and then like seafoam blues and greens, and then any kind of like nautical or fish references that I felt like I could get away with. Eric is obviously depicted as somebody who has a few different ships and likes to explore, so that kind of a thing, having that little nod to his personality around the castle. So we have here the main entryway. There is this staircase off to the left here. We'll be going that way in a moment. This part off to the right leads into the one of the main living rooms. You can see what I mean here with the little nautical references. We've got like ships and some of the cats and dogs gallery pieces, things like that. So we've got these two doors here on each side of the fireplace, and the one to the left is the kitchen, which really didn't get shown very much at all in the speed build video. It's a really big kitchen. Got a food bowl there for Max. Wanted it to be something really nice and high end. It is a castle, and I wanted to depict Chef Louis as like this gourmet chef, and he needs lots of space. And also there's quite a few people living here, so gotta be careful though whenever I make a kitchen, or just in general when I'm thinking about creating a build for the Disney Save. It's like, what time period does this take place in, and trying to keep things a little bit within the scheme of that time period. So, you know, generally speaking, I don't know exactly when The Little Mermaid took place, but we can say for sure that we don't want too much modern technology in the kitchen, things like that. This is actually Chef Louis' room, right next to the kitchen here. Went with some of the darker blue tones, like I mentioned before. we would pull some of that into the castle. The original design from the movie shows a lot of the darker blues, reds, emerald greens, deep purples, and largely I stayed away from a lot of that, but for the bedrooms, I felt like we could probably get away with it a little bit more. A lot of the bedrooms are going to be very, very similar with some slight differences just to give you an idea of whose room belongs to each, and I think it makes sense that Louis would be right next to the kitchen. We have a staircase over here that we can go up momentarily. This little door over here is actually the main bathroom. This is the one that is shown in the film. In the film, there is a bit of a foundation that comes up back here, and the door would be located on that side, but because of the round walls, again, this is like a game limitation thing, I was not able to put a raised foundation on that side, and I definitely wasn't able to make the door over there, but I thought at least having this bathtub, this really unique sort of bathtub that I made with tulle, and I still have to play test, but I'm pretty confident I can get this to work. And it has sort of this like seashell shape to it. I just thought it was really unique and very iconic for this bedroom or this bathroom. Alrighty, so when you come up those stairs over there, you come to this little hallway, and if you go through the archway, more stairs, but if you go through the archway over here, this is one of the study / entry rooms to Grimsby's room, this bigger door here. This entire floor is basically Prince Eric's floor, so I felt like having Grimsby kind of across the hall from him made a lot of sense. He has his own little balcony that you guys will notice or recognize from the exterior. This is actually where the wedding boat is docked in the film, off of this little dock here. So he has this kind of balcony area. And then going into his actual bedroom, this main door over here. Again, very aesthetically similar to a lot of what I have done in the castle, but it's Grimsby, so he gets a little bit more space and he gets some of the nicer things. He has his own bookshelf, his own fireplace, his own little things like that. So he has a couple of cool little places for him. And he's kind of a big deal to Eric, so I just feel like he would get so much space and a lot of really cool features inside of the castle. But I always like to just utilize those areas the best that I can. We'll go through this door here. So again, when you come up the stairs, we've got this door to the left. And this is where you're going to start to lead into Eric's area of the castle. This is technically like just a balcony you can come out onto, the one for the upstairs portion of the main entrance. But if you take the left here, this is where we're going to enter part of Eric's part of the castle. So this is just a extra little bathroom, just so we have it on this floor. I like to try to make sure we add as many bathrooms as possible so that we can have less going up and down the stairs to be able to use the bathroom when you're actually playing. There is another set of stairs to get over to the side. This is the staircase that was immediately to the left when you enter the castle. So there's another way to just get right over here without having to enter like the Grimsby side, I suppose. And then this door is really the main entrance to Eric's part of the castle with this beautiful long hallway here. Again, keeping the seafoam greens, the Get Famous pieces that are very seashell-like in aesthetic. And to his actual bedroom, the giant circular room on the far side of the castle. This is Eric's room. It is 2 levels, with the bottom portion being his main bedroom, bed area, little bar. I thought the fish tank was a fun little nod. I don't know. You can keep it, remove it if you want. Depends on how you play the characters and how you feel about everything. Something else that Eric is shown to be is kind of musically inclined. He always plays the flute, and we don't have a flute in the game, but I figured I would add a couple of things to show some interest in music, I suppose. And then if you go up the staircase, it's in the middle of this room, which unfortunately I did have to do because of the fact that the round rooms just makes placing stairs, honestly, very, very difficult. But it kind of works, right? It's like in the middle, but not in an obnoxious kind of way. Is his study / library / like entertaining guests area. I'm going to show this from the overhead because I realize that this is a little bit skewed. But this was featured a bit in the video for the speed build. So this is just like, you know, a study. I feel like Eric would have guests over quite a bit. He might have over other royals. I was actually reading a book at the time that's like a retelling of The Little Mermaid that Disney released called Prince of Song and Sea, and it's about Eric, and he does have guests over to the castle, and I just felt like this was a really nice area to maybe bring some people. You've got books, little areas to play cards. There is a computer, technically, with this area over here. It's the keyboard from Cottage Living. And then, just to show you, the downstairs area right underneath. And then this is not really going to be super easy to show, but if you go out his little door over here, he does have his own balcony, which I think is the more extravagant of the two. It's really pretty. It's got this fountain, this little walkway area, and then it's got the door that leads directly down onto the water and the beach, which I think he would really, really appreciate. And I believe that's all of this floor. So we're actually going to jump back down to the bottom floor so we can go through this doorway over here. So again, this staircase, when you come into the left, that's the one that leads up to Eric's side of the castle. And then this door leads to the rest of the main living area. Got just another little hallway here. Tried to break off some of the sections and just like section out the castle a little bit. Then we've got another hallway designed very similarly across the board. Of course, we're going to make everything match because it's like a castle. It just makes sense. There is a door over here to get outside, so you can have quick access to the pirate ship over there in the water and just be able to get out onto the beach relatively quickly. For playability reasons, I like to add things like that. And then over here we have Carlotta's room. She is going to be the head maid. Got some little things here and there to kind of indicate that this is her space, but when you do download the save file, I do assign all the beds in the bedrooms and things like that, so you don't have to think about it very much. And of course, I like to also just kind of keep them generic enough where people can just decide how they want to play it and move characters around or sims around, depending on if you just didn't like the way I did it. I don't know. Or if you're going to move other characters in, or yourself. I don't know what you do. So, it is meant to be Carlotta's room, but use it as you please. Through this door here at the end of the hallway, we have the ballroom, and this is shown in the second film. Now, don't worry about the ceiling. I promise you it's completely closed. It's just because of this view and the fact that we are in a round room right now. The game really, really does not like them. So you just get some weird graphical things on the ceiling there. And the pink color is really just chosen because of the second film. I think that they tried to get a color that matched with Melody's dress, to be honest with you. So I think that's why they chose kind of this color. But I wanted to have a dance floor in here. I wanted to have something, a little piano. Keep it very regal. And then if you go down and out this way, you're going to find another restroom. So if you do have guests over, you throw a ball, whatever you do, you'll have a quick access to a bathroom on this floor, as well as this is the same floor that the main bathroom's on, but that's there. And then leading out to the end here, we've got the dining room. And I also wanted the kitchen and the dining room to be on the same floor. I feel like it makes a lot of sense most of the time for them to be as close as possible, and then also on the bottom floor of a space is very typical. And this was shown in the film, so it's pretty much a one-for-one replication, but I have changed some of the colors around just to make it match the rest of the aesthetic of the castle a little bit better. As if my mouse will zoom out here so you can get an overview. That is the bottom floor of the castle. Again, just for like highlight points, we've got the main bathroom over here and the kitchen, ballroom, dining room. This extra little, I don't know what you call these, tower over here is really, there's no entrance to it. Use it as you please, add a door if you'd like. I just didn't want another set of stairs off into the water here, to be honest with you. And it's just kind of for aesthetics for me, so I left it. But you can always make it into something if you want. Similarly with this, no real main access to it. Really just for decoration. 2 floors of that. The other one actually you can get to and use. So for those of you who want that, you'll be pleased to see that. And this is the second floor that we did just basically go through, with Eric's room being on the bottom here, and Grimsby's room over here with his little balcony out and Eric's little balcony out. And then they've got a bathroom right here on this floor. Now we'll be going to the 3rd floor of the castle, so that's actually entered through this other stairway over here that you get to from the right side of the castle. When you're entering, you can go up the stairs past the kitchen, and there is another set of stairs immediately here, so we'll go to that part. Now this leads up to what I like to call Ariel's section of the castle. She's got her own little living room area. She's got a gorgeous little balcony. She can come out and look out onto the water. That's part of Eric's study, which is not connected. And then if you immediately turn to the door behind, that is where you're going to get to the entryway really to her side of the castle. There is a bathroom up here for her. A little bit more feminine in design, trying to keep it similar to the one downstairs, but more her, I guess you could say. We've got the entryway to her area, and then her bedroom, which is shown in the film. And so I've kept it pretty close to what I could see from the background, changing a little bit here and there, adding some stuff that I felt like was really great for her character and just things that I felt like she had to have. I did add this fishbowl, and my thought was that I would put a fish in there and name it Flounder. We are going to have Flounder as a character in the save, but I just thought it was a funny little nod to her character. I don't know how she would actually feel about keeping a fish in a bowl, but I thought it was funny. You can always remove it if you don't like it. She does have another balcony that she can come out onto here. And that's the one that's shown in the movie where she comes out onto that balcony and she can see Eric down on the beach area. I believe that's gonna be it for the most part. We do technically have, let me go up one floor just to make sure. Okay, yes, that's everything for the main part of the castle. We have this tower to the back, which you can get into. I added a ladder just so you could use it if you wanted to, and I really just made this like a general watchtower. Very kind of empty, but there is a painting area. I like to add those into watchtowers. I just think it's like a unique little thing. I don't know, I do it all the time. And then an additional bedroom upstairs in case you wanted it for any reason. I don't know. I did not add the wedding boat off to the left here because it's not typically shown in the photos, and it's really only shown in the scenes that it applies to towards the end of the movie. And that is the tour of Eric's castle. Not a super long one today, but I hope you guys still enjoyed anyway. The next video that's going to be coming out is going to be the creative sim for this household. So we'll have Eric and Ariel and the castle staff and of course Max. And then we've got another really big build coming up, and I hope you guys are excited. It is also going to be Little Mermaid themed. A lot of you could probably guess what it's going to be. Of course, if you'd like to support the Disney Save on Patreon, you can do so by clicking the link in my description box or the one at the end of the video. Get yourself access to works in progress, special perks, early access, and my private Discord for all things the Disney Save. Thank you all so much for watching today, and I will talk to you all in the next one.